Hello, guys. Hi.
We said hello together. I think we have.
Yes, my name is Kanji.
And I'm Alexia. So I'm so happy I didn't blunder.
You didn't.
I didn't say my name.
Oh, yeah, you didn't say your name.
Yeah.
Actually, we both did. This is context. They don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
don't worry.
Welcome to another episode of Banter Brunch. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. We're so excited to have you here because this is a very lovely episode, especially for you if you're in your early 20s or even if you're a teenager. I don't know if you have a teenage audience, but if you do, this episode is really good for you to listen.
Yeah. I think we're just talking about some of the things they don't tell you about your early 20s. So we're here to tell you so that or
you can have a prep.
Or we're here to
reinforce.
You know. So we're here to say this and that.
It's true.
And just
confirm
our 2 cents about our various issues. And it was sorry about the noise.
Actually, I noticed that we normally hear the noise, but we speak very directly to the mic.
Yeah, so not all the time they hear.
When we say sorry about the noise, guys are like, which noise? Just know.
There's noise. But so it was a fun episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. There's a lot that I've relearned by talking about this point, which is something that happens when you're a podcast host or you do anything. Is like we talk about topics every single week, and sometimes it's just reinforcing things you already know, and it's just cool to talk about the things that I already have in my mind. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
So
I think we actually need to
share, subscribe, comment. Send it to a friend who is in this
love.
season, who is in the early 20s, who's just past the early 20s, who is your small sister, your small brother. Yeah.
All right. And we'll see you guys when the episode begins. Cheers.
That was so awkward. Hi guys.
Hi people. Welcome to another episode of Banter Brunch.
Yep.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and thank you so much for tuning in if you're listening from the audio listening platforms. And wow, this is episode, I've even lost track.
72.
Wow, 72. We're on a road to 100. We're on a road to 100 episodes and road to 1K on YouTube, which is why right now, before we even get into the topic of today, because it's a really nice topic, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Subscribing is free. It helps us grow. It helps us grow this Banter Brunch community, and we're just trying to elevate our content and interact with you guys on a deeper level.
Yes. So at this point, subscribe. If you've not subscribed, subscribe, like, share. Leave a comment. Tell us how you're excited to have discovered us. If you're discovering us for the first time.
Oh yeah, because this is I think now maybe our 6th visual episode. And again, if you're wondering why we are skipping episodes in between, maybe you watched episode 68 and then you go ahead and there's 70, then 72. It's because we actually removed 2 episodes in a week, and so our second episode is not normally a visual, but we have them every single Wednesday on our podcast listening platforms. The links are always in the description below. But we have the Brunch Hour, which is our Sunday show with Radio 254. Shout out to Radio 254. And in case you don't tune in live on Sundays, we put them on our podcast listening platform on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday, every Friday, expect an episode of Banter Brunch.
Wow, we're giving you guys so much
We're giving you so much energy, so much life. The least you can do is support us.
Anyway, how you?
Also, you need to shout out Aura Homes. Shout out Aura Homes. This lovely space.
So they really elevated our
content.
Let me tell you, at the beginning of the year, we were so stressed because first we ghosted guys for 2 months. And we were like, where are we at as a podcast?
Yeah, exactly. We are 60 episodes in.
So we did the mathematics of having a visual, and it seemed so impossible at that point.
Yeah.
But we narrowed down and we said, okay, what do we need to make it happen? And look at us right now.
Yeah, and I genuinely think it's just the universe that was pushing us to do things, because we got this space.
Through a tweet.
through a tweet, through Twitter. Twitter is a very powerful space because there's even this tweet that goes on once in a while, like a year or something, where tag your favorite a company that you want to work for. And shorts, actually last week I saw a guy, we were actually in studio when I was showing you a guy showing first day at work in the new space, and it was a place he had tagged on Twitter, and just like that he got a job. And that's the same thing way we got this space to partner with Aura Homes to show this lovely content.
Yeah, so
and
shout out to them.
Also shout out to Impel Productions for recording this podcast and giving you these lovely visuals. And shout out to Banter Brunch, Alexia and I.
Yeah, for showing up.
For showing up consistently.
Yay.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an achievement.
It's an achievement. How do you think, now that we are here, how do you think this partnership as a podcast has impacted our friendship? Or do you think our friendship is what's impacted our... Do you understand my question? Because I know maybe a lot of guys talk about, business with your friend is this, that. Maybe we can touch on it before we start on the topic.
And I think obviously the podcast has impacted the friendship, because before we started, we were acquaintances, for lack of a better word. Yeah. But because we were meeting twice a week.
That's true.
It's like twice a week. Yeah, and then... obviously, again, the podcast is not necessarily, it's a lifestyle sort of podcast. So we don't just talk. If it was a business podcast, you're talking about what's trending in the business world. If it was agriculture, we'd be talking about what crops are being burnt by the sun, So it's a lifestyle podcast. So that now makes us open up and know what's happening in each other's lives and all that. So obviously, now that strengthened the friendship side of things.
Yeah, but I also think sometimes we forget to do things that are friend related, because we meet so often that so it's like
we met.
We are going for lunch, or we're going for bowling, or for activities. We mainly just meet. Yeah, we need to be better. We're good workmates. We catch up on the phone as well almost every day, but we forget to do activities, which is true, together.
But I think now with your schedule being a bit freeing up and mine you're not feeling like from January, I am free. You can do everything. When I quit my job, I was like, everyone call me, and nowadays I'm like, I actually can't. Somehow that time
is replaced by something else. Yeah, it's going to be replaced by the commitment to this podcast.
True.
Because now we are having visuals. How can we be marketing gurus and our marketing is lagging a bit?
And even good content creators of our own in our own spaces.
Exactly.
So this should also reflect that.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna give ourselves grace and say that our time will come.
Our time has come. Yeah, which is a good time. We've been at this for a year, like 9 months.
9 months. Our birthday is in August.
A year, 6 months.
Wow, 1.5 years.
4.
I think that's a decent foundation. I think that's a very good foundation, especially without, when we started, we didn't even have an audience, or our personal pages were just decent normal. And now we're growing slowly and surely, but anyway.
Yeah. So I think 1.5 years is enough. If it was not going to work, it would have already
died. Yeah. People say podcast episode. I don't know. The tipping point is episode 10. I don't know. I've had it before. But anyway, whatever it is, we've surpassed it, because this is what episode 70, whatever. So anyway.
Random.
But that's how we like to start the podcast, with something light before we get into the heavy stuff. But it's just been 6 minutes. So anything else we want to talk about before we
I don't think we can really catch up, because just from catching
our catch-up episodes are the Wednesday episodes. So if you want to know a little bit more spice of our lives, or just
YouTube
updates,
is a bit we can't talk so much on YouTube, but the audio only, which is why there's a balance. Check the Wednesday episode that we talk a lot of random stuff. Anyway, today's topic is interesting. So if you check in our Twitter, or I think our bio, usually it's 20-something young African girls, who meet for brunch, I don't know, but weekly to discuss the life, So we're in our early 20s. I hope so, that counts for, in our early 20s.
We are in our early 20s. But we are just...
We've refused to cross over.
To cross over.
So, we're in our early 20s, and we do believe this is a stage that's I think every stage of life is confusing on its own, you know, but like it's a very, it's an interesting place to be at, because you know you're not a child anymore, but you were just a child the other day. And yeah, your 30s and life and responsibilities are just around the corner. They're like, what the hell is happening? So yeah, today's episode is just dedicated to what they don't tell you about your early 20s. And what we're discovering along this journey, or what we've discovered from, you know, from 20s all the way to wherever
we are. We're not good. A woman never tells her age.
Yeah, we tell the age range.
We're in our early 20s. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it doesn't even have to be at every 7 years or 10 years. I think after every 3 years even, there's always a change, and a significant one from who you used to be 3 years ago. And I feel your 20s is just that. I think who I was as in my teenage years, or who I was specifically, who I was, for example, 18 and 19 was such a huge transition. Oh my goodness. But the transition between 18 to 21 even is like, and I can't even believe there's so much more that's going to change about us that, you know, I'm excited I'm excited about and looking forward to. But I think the space I'm in now, there's, at least I can say, I'm well within the 20s to have an opinion on, you know, how I think the early 20s have been going. But yeah, before we get into it, what generally, do you want to describe what your experience in your early 20s has been so far?
Wow. Yeah, I can just touch on a general thing. Definitely not how I envisioned.
Wow.
Some aspects to life, yes. I remember when I was 19 and I was not in a relationship, and I've always wanted to settle down early.
Yeah.
I started getting worried. Imagine, it's just clocks, timelines that you place for yourself. So I was like, no, I need to, by the time I'm getting married by 24 or something, 25, 26, I need to have been in a serious relationship. So how am I 18?
You're starting to, I saw a TikTok.
Yeah.
You're starting to calculate, I want kids by 26.
And there's no
I'm supposed to, so I need to get married by 25, which means I need to have a boyfriend by yesterday.
You know? So I used to panic, and I'm like, Kwani, am
19, Alexia.
Yeah, because guys were dating at 19. I mean,
okay, that's true.
Because I didn't have a high school nini. So
that's true.
I was like, I'm getting into, and I didn't want any high school flings, because I was like, it doesn't make sense. We're only meeting when I'm on holiday. There's no purpose for that. So I was like, by the time I'm in first year, I should enter uni with a relationship, you know. And then it didn't work out like that. So I was like, okay, so that's gonna affect my 20s and all that, you know, nonsense. But yeah, I think generally I can describe it as nothing as I had expected. Yeah.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a okay way, because I've made it work.
What did you expect in your early 20s?
Well,
I'm asking the difficult questions.
I was feeling like I'd still be a child, but I don't know why I thought that, and I've always been very independent in my family, even just the way I was brought up. I knew I should have known I'd leave the nest very early, or I'd be doing other things, you know. I don't know why I thought I'd still be babied, and I'd still be at home, and I'd still maybe just be chilling, you know. So but it's not a bad thing, because I get to be independent, I get to do lots of stuff, I get to make money, I get to, you know, which is not a bad thing. If you're at home, I'm not saying you're not doing anything with your life. You stay at home. Outside is expensive. Even if they are helping, it's expensive. So I think even from the last episode, the last visual, we talked about school, academics. I feel like I thought I'd been a different field, or maybe doing something different. What else? Friendships. Okay, my friendships are okay. I think obviously I didn't carry some friendships that I thought would be with me through my 20s, and I've had to be okay with that. So just certain aspects, but it's nothing too crazy. It's not like I have a child now. No, that's a big life change.
That's a big life change.
If you have a child, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it is a big life change. So it's not like I'm married now, or I got married at 20 or something.
Okay, that's cool. For me, my early 20s have been 50-50, maybe not entirely what I expected it to be, but I'm also not upset by how they've been so far. I think I expected to be in uni and finish uni, which is exactly what's happened. What I didn't expect is to do the course that I'm doing. But okay, what I'll say is, in general, how my early 20s have turned out is what they exactly what they should have turned out to be, instead of what I thought they should be, because maybe what I thought I wanted them to be, I was not ready for that season yet. So in my mind, maybe, or I just was not made for that path. So in my mind, I thought maybe I'd do architecture or design to some extent, because that's what I was passionate about in high school. But when I look at all the sides from when I was a child, and they always say what you want to do is always connected to what you've always been interested in for a very long time. And we've mentioned this before in a visual episode, is I've always been the talkative person, confident, likes to be in front of an audience, or, just always been a good writer from kindergarten to high school, even in uni, like writing. So journalism or communication is where I end up, and it makes so much sense. And I think it was exactly where I needed to be. Also, the same thing with, I really thought that what I needed for my life for a change is to go and study abroad. And I was really, really in high school. That's really all I wanted. Although I was not having tangible things or actions that were leading me to that, that's what I really thought I wanted. But I think this foundation that I also built here was so necessary. And I would have been abroad in a pandemic, and maybe I was just being prepared for, this is not the season, because you would not have enjoyed. Maybe I'd been at home most of the time anyway, and being depressed because I thought I'm going to find the happiness somewhere else, and yet I'm still coming at home. So I generally think it's all happened the way it's supposed to happen, and that's why I'm a true believer in everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, because that's genuinely how I feel. But so my 20s, I've enjoyed them, but there are obviously some lessons that we're going to talk about that I've learned.
And I think for me, I feel like the present moment is the only moment that we have. The past has gone. We don't know the future. But the future can be predicted with what you choose to do now. So like wherever you find yourself, even let's say you had an oops, you got a teenage pregnancy or something. So what have you decided for yourself now? Like, if you can you go back to school? If you can you, truthfully, today is the most important. Now is the most important.
I was just going to say, in the terms of having a kid, truthfully, when you become like 28 and your kid is almost a teenager, most people are gonna be envious of you having such a good relationship and a good foundation with your child when you're younger. But I know when you're getting a kid when you're
at that point
19, you're like,
I want to be
this
the club.
Is the end. This is it. But genuinely, I think everyone's journey is totally different.
So different and so specific to you as Alice, to you as Alexia.
And that should be lesson number one. Everyone's journey is so, because ever since you grow, school munenda to the same from primary, the system is just the same. You get to uni, things start changing. Not everyone goes to uni. Not everyone does the similar course.
Some are abroad.
Some
are doing uni here.
Exactly. Some are not even that serious with school. The way people in high school, everyone must be serious. People are not serious. So some people are just living life. Sign for me.
There's no sign for me.
It's boarding. It's genuinely every man for himself. Your parents are not even there to tell you, like, fam, you need to do this thing. It's just you and the world, you and your foundation, you and your path. So comparison is the thief of joy for sure. And that's the one. I guess that wasn't one of my lessons, but I think that's a lesson we need to highlight. That everyone's journey is definitely different, and comparing yourself to someone else's can steal the joy away from the present, which is what you're going through. And we've always said on this podcast that you can omoka at 40. Some people start their lives at 50. Some people start their careers so late, and some people start very early. And generally, there's nothing wrong with either. It's just not comparing yourself, and living in the present can save you a lot of heartache.
Yeah, true. Anyway, you want to start?
No, I've already talked about that point a lot. Maybe you start.
I give you time
to breathe.
Okay, I think my first thing that no one told me is that I'll be broke. When I was a child or under 18, why do I need money? Like,
why was mom buying me those shampoos, washing things, and when I'm an adult, that's when I need them the most?
Like it. And I was being taken out to eat. If I need to go see a friend, if I need to go see a friend, like, I'll just tell her in advance. They'll send me money. I need to upgrade my closet. Money sent. You know, like, you're a child.
To be parents, mukwe serious.
And also a bit of uni is the same, because you're probably still under their roof, so they're still doing 1, 2, 3 for you.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, once your parents start seeing you have money, or you're done with uni, what is money? What is pocket money? You know, and even in uni, the money might be the same, but there's so many things that are trying to take your attention. You know, guys want to go party. Guys want to go Airbnb.
You
guys
want to have your own style now.
You want now clothes to look a certain way. You know, you're exposed to many things, so you want to get everything, you know. So yeah, I think I just had to learn. I remember the money that I used to be given, I even used to laugh at. I called my sister, I just laugh. Actually, the money has been sent today, but it's already finished. I don't know. I'm supposed to survive the rest of the month. And then a monthly money is the worst. At a better weekly. Yeah. Monthly, you can finish it the day it's sent.
You need to start learning how to budget.
Yeah. So I think I didn't know I'd be broke. And even just fresh after uni, I know many people are usually like, how am I surviving now without pocket money? Because most parents are like, after job, as we've done our part, you've finished school.
By the way,
and you can't really blame them. I mean, taking someone from nursery to fourth year is not cheap. It's not cheap, you know. So just don't be comfortable with being broke. Just don't be shocked.
Don't be shocked that you're
broke.
You
will count coins. You may save coins even, because they come through at some point. You will count coins. You will budget, you will play, but you will survive.
That's a very strong point right there. Like, you do genuinely get broke, and I think that's why it's also a motivation for people. That's why people start thinking, damn, like, what do I do to get money?
Start a business.
Do I start a business? Something. You know, like, in high school, people used to make money maybe selling sweets, but now you need to grow a bigger business model. Maintain the life.
There's access to those sweets.
There's access to those
sweets. You because there's no access. Demand is high. It's high.
Supply is 100 bob. Kimano. I'm highlighting. 100 bob. Pin pop. Hey, high school was a tough time.
Yeah.
But no. So you do get broke, but you need to
think of ways.
You need to think of ways of get money. Honestly, my first point, I think it's going to, at least let's go to a positive note. I think in your early 20s, it gets better somehow. Compared to my suffering in teenage years, personally.
You know better now. Sorry.
You know better now. You make better, more rational decisions. You're not led by emotions as much as you are in your teenage years. You get a bit of more freedom than you were. Like we're saying, you have the choice to do things. You have the choice to do what course you want to pursue, whether you want to chill. Okay, sometimes it's relative, but you have choices that you can make. You can, even if you're doing a course you don't want to do, you can choose not to go to those classes. You can choose the friends that you want to be with. You can choose your relationships to be more meaningful. It just gets a bit more free and better, in my opinion. Of course, there's a lot of things that get worse, but like now you have to think about money and all the things that Alexia was mentioning. But for me, compared to my teenage years, I will tell you, if you're a teenager now, I know
you're feeling
like there's a lot of things that feels like this is it, like this, like F this, or I was very angry in my teenage years. Let me just say that there was so much I was angry about. I was angry even with my family. I was angry with myself. I was angry with the system I was forced into. But now, in my experience, I think it gets better. So that the advice I'm giving you now as a teenager is that it gets better. So yeah, that's my point.
You've mentioned it. You can choose. You have a course, you choose not to go for the classes. I saw a tweet. Someone said his parents are so sure he's doing medicine. And that he's in engineering. And he's been doing an engineering course. Do the parents know? Oh.
You actually just pay for vibes. Because even if you go for, like... let me not say that. Mom, I've gone for all my classes. You teach yourself basically. Uni is, me personally, I feel like most of the things I've taught myself. So yeah, but let me not scare you. Uni is a nice place.
Yeah, you know better. Sorry, let me just make a point on the broke thingy.
Yeah.
Most people also get their first jobs. If it's a good uni, you get your first job when you're just fresh out of uni or something like that. And sometimes you can be lied to, like, the world has been waiting for you. The world. Because at Strathmore, I love Strath, but they really make us look like we're the best candidates ever. Just walk into a room, say you're from Strath, get the job. But you see, there are other brilliant people also from that same Strath, from other unis, still looking for that same job, And I think one thing about expectations, you can think your salary is going to start at, and you're at an entry-level position, and you'll be broke, but don't worry, you will grow.
And last to know, a lot of people are also as broke as you. Because there are people who will show you on social media, and there are a lot of ways people get money, and they're not always the right ways. So if you are doing everything the right way and you're feeling behind, just know you're not alone. And this is like literally a season that everyone goes through.
Yeah, Just Ivy did a question tag and she asked people, what was your first job? What was your salary? How old were you? What was your first job? How old were you? And what was your salary? How old are you now? What are you doing? What are you making? The difference.
I swear to God.
To 5K. We get, say 5 years later, they're making even in dollars. That is,
exactly.
Which leads me to my second point. Your career will probably change. From what you studied in school, back to even looking for job hunting, you can find, I'm not getting jobs with what I studied. Maybe I can try, change to do something else, So I feel like don't be too hard on yourself.
Wow, that's a strong point.
Especially if it's something that, sometimes like I've held on to this childhood dream for so long. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I've always wanted to be a judge.
We're podcasters.
And it's working, It's unconventional. I hope we've still moved on from conventional and unconventional jobs. I think as long as something is putting food on the table or, making you happy, it's fine.
But,
so I'm just like, chances of you having a career change are so high. Usi panic. It happens. Just be wise about it and go with the flow. Yeah.
And just to add on what you're saying, that point is, again, things will, like I was saying previously, things will work out in your favor somehow, or things will work out as they should be. So just because you're getting a job in a different field, or now you've decided to follow a talent you rediscovered in your 20s, like when you start doing it and when you finally get something that's working for you, you'll understand why you ended up there. I mean, I never thought I'd be a podcaster, but because I am, I feel like I was so meant to be in this space because of, again, my history. So yeah, I feel like
that's so true. Let me even give just a personal need. When I was looking for a job at that point, I wasn't saying because I had just left finance, not even with a degree. I've moved to marketing. I have time on my hands because it's an evening course. I need to do something with my time because I need money. So I wasn't too picky about the jobs that were coming my way. I got a job in real estate and I was like, what the hell am I doing here? It's not in my path. It's not what I thought for myself. But now, having done that, worked for 1 year, resigned, I see why I needed to do that. Because now certain things that I'm taking interest in do tie in with real estate. So I'm like, I needed to just have that exposure for a year, understand the basics, know 1, 2, 3, have connections in the industry. Then it can help me now with this thing that I want to do. So, just relax. Especially when you need a job, at that point you're not even thinking, but just take it, be open-minded.
I work for a tech company.
Learn the most you can, network the most you can.
Network and meet the
put
people
in the
you
work.
need to meet.
And you can find even you in a few years or in a few months, you're like, I think I want to start coding. I think I want to start doing this. And before you know it, you're fully in tech, you're telling people I studied communication.
Imagine.
Like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
is.
Like right now, I'm deep state within a tech company, and all I'm meeting around me is people within the space, people who are doing awesome things in the tech community, just beyond even Kenya. And I'm like, this is a whole world that I know. You know, when you study communication, you're just taught maybe you go to agency, or you kind of do journalism, or you kind of do very communication-centered jobs. But even if it's a corporate space, like some spaces don't clock in your mind that they'll need communications. So a tech company as a communications person was never in the blueprint. But to come to think of it, my very, very first job was for a tech company. Actually,
the app.
It was the app, and they weren't even paying me. I was just doing it for my portfolio, and when I was applying for this job,
that's what
it helped boost the fact that I worked for a tech company. So generally, to emphasize on the point that everything happens for a reason, like that's how you having that mentality can help you avoid so much disappointment and so much resentment for not doing the things or the dreams that you thought you needed to do. I think there's always this saying that God laughs at your plans because the plans that he has for you,
it's like
okay, cool, but this is what I know is best for you,
and he can't reveal it to you
exactly
because utashtuka. After now, when I was in Form 2, if Toby, you'll drop out, you'll discontinue. Me?
Wow, you drop out?
Me, a student, me.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not. And then take myself. But like, there's a higher power. Let him do his thing. As long as today you're showing up and you're doing what needs to be done, it will work.
I hope that's encouraged some guys over there, because me, I even feel motivated talking about that. So I'm glad we brought it up. Yeah. To bring something a bit negative, not a bit negative, but as a reality, men will take advantage of you, or men will want to take advantage of you.
So this is our female audience.
This is directly for our female audience. I don't know what the male experience is, but for us, I think I can say that I know a lot of people or situations where men will want to take advantage of you, in that there's this thing that men always say, oh, a younger babe, a younger woman is fresh, doesn't have so many, requirements, and you being submissive to them is a very big thing, because when you're knowledgeable, you might have so many opinions and you might resist. Ukona kiherehere because you know so. Ukona kiherehere. So they purposefully look for young people who are a bit oblivious, and at that time, like we remember we've said you're broke, and then there's this man who has come and can buy you lunch almost every day, has a big car, picks you up, drops you, and it will be good only for some time, but it will make you feel empty to some extent. I don't know. Not that I've experienced it, but I just feel that there's a lot of men who approach you with the intentions of taking advantage of you.
Let me tell you. Also, you take advantage of them.
So you take advantage of them and don't do those things that they're looking for, like to just save your sanity.
Yeah, I think for me, it's an exchange. After you're broke. You need the cash. You need what.
But they want sugar. So now,
if you're willing, if that's a thing you're willing to
are you advocating?
Do what you wanna do. I'm telling you, this is.
I'm not endorsing that message.
It's a society of demand and supply. This guy needs something. I have it. I also need something from him. But now, my thing here is, take care of yourself. If you know you don't want to be pregnant with this Mubaba's child, be on a contraceptive.
You'll become too as a woman by the wife.
If you don't know how to fight, start learning to fight.
I'm not endorsing this message. For me, I'm telling you.
Avoid.
Yeah. Just avoid men in general. Because even the men are age disaster. Which is almost my next point.
But unless you find someone who doesn't want sugar. But like if you're giving me I will set up
who
my
doesn't
business.
Want sugar?
I take that money, I set up my business, where I dump you.
Yeah.
But just be woke and just be careful.
Be very careful. Yeah. I think that's the message. Be very careful, because it can get really messy. You can end up getting very heartbroken. You're giving yourself so much to. There are moments where even if it's not a bad. Not that he's not. My point is, you can end up giving so much to this guy because now he's taking care of you financially, and you've given 100% to this guy. It's confused you. You're not even maybe going to school as you should be, or you're just not focusing on yourself, and then he breaks up with you, which is most likely inevitable because maybe he's married or was just using you for the very reasons I'm explaining here, and leaves you. Now you feel like, where do I go next? Like your whole life is ruined, which is normal for any breakup. But if it's someone who has openly taken advantage of you, I think you just need to be very careful.
But is it they're taking advantage? See, even me, I'm taking advantage of him.
Me, I think there are moments where it's taken, because it's like they're waiting for you to be ripe, fresh out of teenagehood, for them to now come for you. Why is a man in their 40s, 50s so invested? I know it happens, but for me, it's just, take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. 21 and he's 45. Why is it that people his age are not interested in him, or he's been single for 5 years and now all of a sudden he wants to settle with you who's 21? I think it's possible, but just be me apple. Yeah, me anyway. You just know.
Anyway, okay. Yeah.
But me, I endorse Alexia's only the part where she said you also take advantage of them. And if it means you're not giving sugar, because you also need money. Okay, not saying you be
so by the time he's breaking up with you,
you set up that business.
You already running things for yourself. I'm saying if that's the path you have chosen, even you show up and perform your best. Make sure don't embarrass people out here. Be an overachiever. My next point is almost, I don't know if it's in line with what you've said, but just heartbreak. Like, I think childhood heartbreak is not serious. It does hurt, but when you're in your 20s, it's more. It's real. You feel that ochungu very well.
Let me just tie it in with my point so that we just talk about it at once. My next point was actually relationships are unpredictable. Because
you thought maybe.
Yes, exactly. And especially if it's someone who's similarly in their early 20s who's trying to figure out their lives, it can be. Yeah, I think you just don't know.
You don't know, because even.
And I don't know if that it's just in your early 20s or just in general, actually.
Just in general, because you could all of a sudden be in different spaces. Maybe you are dating a guy who was maybe 4 years older than you. I don't know if that's legal, because I'm trying to say like over 18 and the whole issue. But maybe me, I'm joining first year. My partner has just finished 4th year, or my boyfriend that I've been having since high school. You see, he's going into the job market. He's probably also maybe going for a master's and he's going abroad. Me, I'm here fresh, Nico first year, Nico, I'm so caught up with uni and all that. We're in different seasons. So it might just not happen. And I feel like your early 20s is when you desire that companionship. You desire to,
I don't know who you is.
No, I'm just saying, because I feel like in high school, it's
me personally, I think in your early 20s, just stay single. Me, that's my message.
Yeah. But you see, not even single, in that maybe you're not committed, but you're still seeing other people. You see, because you still maybe you're sexually discovering yourself. You're
it's a time
curious.
of discovery.
You want to have a kathingi. That kathingi can turn into feelings. And this person, me, I'm just here to play around. I'm just here.
Especially if they're older, then they already know how to distinguish the feelings.
Yeah. So even for guys, this is for all they need. Just expect heartbreak at some point between 18 to 25. Your heart will be broken. Like situationships might just end in that sense. Relationships also may end up not working out. So be comfortable with heartbreak. And I think for many people, it's their first experience with heartbreak. Very few people date in high school or in primary and have serious things. So now when you're actually in a serious thing, something that has been a year, 2 years, or even a non-serious thing, but for you it was serious, you're like, imachozi, uchungu imetoka wapi? It's a heartbreak.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I think to tie my point, which was relationships are unpredictable, it's just that a lot of men my age, for example, a lot of them are against, let's say, getting into relationships just because our relationships from a man require more. Even if we deny it, it requires a bit more, financially especially, than it does for a woman, resource-wise. So for them, it's like, I can't even give anything to my girl if I can't even give anything to myself yet. So yeah, a lot of it is focusing on them. But and I think guys in their early 20s as well, it's a bit hard for them to get into serious relationships. So it's going to be hard for you to get someone, but you will if you maybe you get your person. I mean, in any age really, you can get into a relationships, but I think it's very unpredictable in that in the space you're in. It's either you're also not, you don't know yourself enough to be in a healthy relationship, and you don't find a partner who is willing to help you discover yourself in a relationship. Or even when you get a person, like Alexia said, you're in two different spaces, and a lot of things changes happen in adulthood. You know, like maybe you're in second year, this guy has just graduated, is in the job market, is meeting all these new people in all these new spaces.
Girlfriend.
Akona office girlfriend most days.
Just see Instagram and post boomerang.
Exactly.
Your boyfriend.
And even you start going to different places and you're starting to notice all these things. So the unpredictability comes in. I don't know whether, and I think it's going to be not just your early 20s, to be honest, but I don't know if this person is actually serious. A lot of people are looking for playful, non-serious things, friends with benefits, or just vibes. I don't know. These days is gonna imagine nyingi. But you just take care of yourself. If you know you're very sexually active and it's not even with one person, use protection always. Or if you see the red flags, don't just ignore them, because heartbreaks, like Alexia said, are probably gonna be inevitable. But how, you need to pick yourself up from them, because everyone, I think, at least once in their lives go through a certain heartbreak. And so how you take that is also going to shape you, because heartbreaks can actually ruin you. But again, having a good support system around you, and not just relationships in terms of what are they called? Partners, relationship, even friendship. Relationships can be unpredictable. And again, not unpredictable, but people get to different spaces. The same person you'll come out of high school with may not be the same. People discover themselves a lot in their early 20s. A lot of changes happen. So I think, you just prepare yourself for changes. Prepare yourself for the unpredictability that relationships will come and offer, and because of the seriousness that you will be wanting to have, compared to your next relationship is going to be more serious than what you had in your teenage years. That was my point.
To tie it on now, my last point is friendships. It's so sad that some people, after we cleared Form 4, I've never seen them again. I remember because of my desk mate, I really loved her so much. If we're in the same Nairobi, I'll need to look for her. But I can't, we've not hung out ever since. And even friendships that I had in primary all through high school, into unis a bit, but not anymore, and they've died a natural death. Some of them, like there's no beef or anything. Friendships do change. Also, the thing is, the possibility of losing friends means also there's a possibility of gaining new friends. And fantastic people, a fantastic community. So don't usikufe moyo. Just know that if you do put yourself out there and just stay true and authentic, then your tribe will be attracted to you. In that same regard, like, it can also be a very lonely time. I feel like even in uni, some people just come from, like in Strath, it was in Africa, it's one of the best unis, or in East Africa or something. So you'd find someone has come from Rwanda, they've come to study in uni, and they're like, oh, all these Kenyans, So it can be a very lonely season. Maybe you were staying out of Nairobi and you've come to Nairobi for school, so your family is not around, or you've had to move to a hostel, you don't know people. Like it's that uni period can also be a bit frustrating. And so friendships are there. You lose some, you'll gain some. It can be lonely in the process, but you've got this. There's just a lot of transitions, especially because of high school, uni. One thing that I always do, not intentionally, but I've always just been doing, is every year I'm excited to see who I'm going to end up
adding to my friendship list, or just new people. I'm always excited for the new. Generally, in my mind, whenever new year comes, I'm always just, one thing that I say is like, I'm excited to see the people that I'm yet to meet and become a part of my life, because every year, genuinely, you will meet someone who you never knew. Okay, in my opinion.
Even like now you at work.
Now I know so many people. My next birthday, I'm even wondering, how are we mixing friend groups? Yeah. So yeah, and 100%, some friendships just die a natural death, and it's completely fine. But me, unlike you, your situation, I'm blessed to be still close with my friends from high school. For some reason, my friends from high school are still my friends. The amount of friends I've made in uni accountable, genuinely, for me. Me naendanga class nikitoka, which, and I know some people, uni becomes where they meet their tribe, and I think my sister is one of those people. Everyone is so different. For me, I think I met my people in high school, and I wasn't. What's funny is I wasn't even close with all of them, but for some reason, just that there's a connection that we had that was just different. But I also know there are a lot of people who, after high school, disappear from each other, and that's totally fine. Just get ready for changes in friendship as well, and just know, as much as you're feeling change is happening, you're also changing. It's not just everything around you is changing. Even you're changing. So yeah, I think my last point, sorry, let me just go back to even it.
Like, because some people now move in alone, like Joanna Kinuthia, the first time she moved out of home, I think she was in her early 25. She went back, she slept one night, moved back home the next day. She said, it's too lonely. I'm so used to, because she's from a big family and they've all stayed together for so long. She's just like, I can't do this. And now recently she moved out now again with her sisters, which helped tackle the loneliness. And now she's just moved out again on her own. So she's like, hey, I didn't go back home after one night. If you know, you know. I was like, that time was a hit.
There's some people that it's tough. So yeah, everyone's different, but I think my last point is very much tied into everything that we've said, is that sometimes it feels like, or rather in your 20s, it's every man for themselves ish somehow. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, like we said, everyone has their own path, and you just, because you're holding on to what your friend is doing, utashinda hapo, because you will not, the chances of you ending up in the same job office as your friend are very small, not unless you're starting a business together, which again is not always advisable. So you just focus on yourself and your journey, because at the end of the day, you will not do the same journey, the path. Even if you're going to, you're both doing communications, you're both doing this, the story is different, the narrative is different. And it's every man for themselves. You need to make your own money. You need to make your own decisions. You need to take care of your body. You need to, if it's protection, if it's going out, how much, you need to take care of your health. You need to take care of you. Like, you need to be first priority, especially in this delicate time, because the foundation you set in your early 20s, I feel, is going to be very essential in how you move forward in your life. If you decide to become let's say something, even just a cigarette smoker, you just know that's going to be something that's going to follow you for the rest of your life, because leaving cigarettes is hard. And that's just a generic, a simple example. But if you have a habit of, ever since even you're not what can be an example? You're not someone who's tidy. You think it's just for this season. That's why. Or you procrastinate a lot, or you're late for things a lot. For me, not give me an example. I'm late for things a lot, and it's something that started as a small thing, but it's something that's going to follow you if you don't take care of it as soon as now. It becomes harder to leave a habit when you're older, I think. So yeah, these foundational years are very delicate, I believe, and at the end of the day, they are also your fun times. Another lesson I've learned, a significant one, is that your body can handle a lot of things. Okay, personally, me, I don't know, Alexia's body is different.
Yeah, we're built different, guys. I'm like 60.
Those hangovers, have them, because you won't have them as much as you will when you tip over to 28, 29. You can go out as much as you can. Have fun as much as you can. Do as much as exploring as you can. Fail as many times as you can. Because these, again, foundational years, because you won't have the opportunity to do the same things as you would be in your early 20s, probably in your 30s. So yeah, I think that's the last piece of advice. Live your life. Na kuna pressure mob. But ensure that you're enjoying the process, because that enjoyment is what will carry you.
Balance.
Yeah.
Just sum it up as balance.
Have a balance.
Too much. All work and no play makes Jack
a dull boy.
Yeah. And Jill a dull girl.
Yeah.
So play kidogo.
Loosen
up.
These are also the best years,
also
man.
In your 40s, you never know. See, don't try and also I think acceptance. As you said, just accept. This is where I am now. Let me make the
live in the moment.
What can I do now to better the situation? What can I let go of? What can I
Wow, I really liked this episode. Hey, we are getting better at this. At episode 72.
Yawning at this time.
At this time, surely we still have to go shoot.
It's like that day you are just yawning.
And no, me, I had gone out. What's your excuse?
Excuse, I don't know. I'm just tired.
We've not eaten. We need to go eat after this. We need to go have our brunch/lunch/ dinner. Hey, a fun race is up today. We need to finish content haraka. To this guys.
Thank you.
See you in the next episode.
Enjoyed this episode. Remember to leave in the comments some of the things that
some lessons you've learned in your 20s
as well.
And we'll keep the conversation going on our socials, so make sure you follow us on Instagram especially, and subscribe guys.
Sawa. See you guys.
Bye.
Caffeine with the strum.